Trainer Joe, we have a huge tip. Seriously, it's a huge tip for speeding up weight loss. I don't think that we could make a more honest statement. Would you say this is maybe a top 3 tip for speeding up weight loss?
I think so. It gets to the heart, too. And I think that's why this went viral.
Viral, baby. Hey, anytime something goes viral, it's a celebration.
Just in our little short form of this, so we decided to expand on it a little bit.
We did a short form of this, and it is over 1 million views on Facebook. Slap it on me, baby. So let's expound on it because it's obviously striking a chord with people.
Yeah.
Makes sense to go ahead and do a little bit of a longer video where we really dive into this.
I think it kind of reveals, is somebody really serious or not, you know? Because there's lots of things you can do to lose weight. Lots of things you can try to avoid, but some things you're going to have to decide. If you're serious, there's certain things that will reflect that. This, I think, is kind of one of those things.
Let's dive in,
if
baby.
If you're not willing to do this, we're going to have to question some things.
Right, because this carries over into other things.
It's not fatty things. It's just all these little fads, you know, just eat radishes or something like that.
Yeah.
Or 1 meal a day, which is fine. You're going to do that, but that's more fatty, right? This is just more to the heart of the issue.
The heart of the issue. Yeah. So go ahead. What is it? What's the tip?
Go to bed hungry, wake up happy. Go to bed hungry.
Go to bed hungry.
Go to bed hungry. People don't like to do that. I remember a buddy of mine, he said, man, Joe, he said, I come home from work, because when we do my program, we don't eat after 7:30, with that in mind, you know, lots of benefits. Sure. But what this guy, he said, Joe, you know, I know you promote don't eat after a certain time at night, but I come home and I had a stressful day. The kids, we finally put them in bed, and there was havoc, and now I sit down, I'm about to relax and turn on Deal or No Deal and have my stuff, and you're going to take away my stuff.
Yeah.
You're going to take away my stuff. It's like, this is a moment for me. This is a time of real soothing.
Well, and there's something to be said about a lot of us, when we're trying to lose weight, we'll allow ourselves to get hungry earlier in the day.
Yes.
We'll go lighter on the calories, and we can push through. But then something about
don't eat till lunch, you know, and we boast about it, which is fine. I've started doing that more. I don't eat until, you know, I don't eat breakfast early.
Okay.
It's a later in the day, and it is kind of nice. I'm not even hungry. I can do it, and we feel good about it. And
but
I'm not eating.
But
at night,
something about going to bed hungry.
At night,
it's another level.
It's a family of raccoons in the kitchen.
It's another level.
But like, who's in there?
Doesn't it make sense though? Because we're over here saying how much harder that is.
It's harder.
But doesn't it make sense that that's going to be doing the most for success on your weight loss journey?
Typically, yes. But I'm going to go ahead and put this out there.
Yeah, please.
I eat at night.
Mm-hmm.
Nearly every night.
Mm-hmm.
So was somebody looking and say, well, you hypocrite. And I would say, no, not at all. And I maybe should have waited later to talk about this, because it might irritate some people. They will forget that. But you know what you get to eat when you weigh a healthy weight and you're a healthy person?
Whatever you want.
Whenever you want. Well, I'm not talking to people. And in our responses of our over 1 million views, you know, we're getting all these responses. Like,
yeah, what are some of the responses? What
are
the vibes?
A good number agree. They're going to say, you are right on. I do this. It's awesome. It works. I'm trying to do this. I should do this. So lots of positives. But then you get some that I can't sleep if I don't eat at night, you know. Or I'm diabetic. I'll wake up with a coma if I don't eat at night. You know, so you're getting all this stuff, and I don't sleep well. And so there's a lot of stuff like that. And I will say, I feel a little guilty when at night I'm watching my show and I'm eating a bowl of ice cream, like, my poor clients. They can't do this.
That's good that you feel a little
I do. I feel a little bit. Empathy. But then I'm like, but bro, it's a holistic thing. And there have been times when I have put on a few pounds. Guess what I did?
Yeah. That's what I was about to ask you.
I quit eating ice cream at night. And then if it's still not working, you quit eating the low-calorie thing you eat at night. And then you eat nothing at night. What are you doing? What are you willing to do? We got to quit playing games with it. And some people got on there and say, well, I eat at night, and I'm weigh the right amount. And I'm like, guess who I'm not talking to? Right?
Yeah.
I'm not talking to you. Good for you, and overachiever, whatever. I'm talking to people that want to be serious. They either really do or they act like it, yet they have this meal after dinner so they can go to bed kind of satisfied. That's what we're addressing. Are you willing to deny yourself that feeling, that addiction, that habit, for the sake of something better?
It's good. I remember just people going through your program and discussing this, and some of them saying like, I would feel guilty when I would eat just a little more. I'm hungry. I feel like I'm hungry, so I'd eat a little more at night, and then I'd be like, oh, I could have had a bigger reward if I would have gone to bed hungrier, and I would have woken up happier and more guilt-free.
You would have woken up happier. None of my people, when I say my people, we do the program. Nobody that is doing this when I tell them to, none of them have ever woken up dead. Not one. We haven't had one person wake up dead yet in all the thousands that I've recommended do this.
Because they
all wake up alive.
Because they stopped eating at 7:30.
And they're happy. They're happy. And one guy, he said, I go to bed hungry and happy. And I'm like, overachiever. I don't know what he's... But you get all these people saying, I do this. And my only point is, if it's not working for you, if your program's not working for you and you're heavy, do this. Are you willing to do this? And then you have the excuses of why they can't. And so let's talk a little bit about that.
Sure.
Why can't I do this? Why is this maybe not even a good idea for me? Because there's plenty of benefits, okay, to allowing yourself, breakfast is called that because you've been fasting. Now you're breaking the fast and allowing yourself. And when we say go to bed hungry, some people seem to think we mean don't eat all day and go to bed literally starving. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the snacks you have after dinner. The food you literally do not need. Mm-hmm. This fixes so many things or helps improve so many things. One lady I was working with, she said, Joe, before I started with you, I had to take Tagamet for acid indigestion things every night. She said, once I started with you, I never took another one. You know why? Because she doesn't eat after 7:30. That's it. So many people would come off of those pills they take at night. There's a purple pill they take that's for that kind of thing. They would lose weight. They would feel better. They'd give their digestion a break. That's the whole idea of intermittent fasting, the benefits of that. There's all metabolic benefits. There's all kinds of benefits. We're not saying go to bed starving. We're saying, is it clear enough what we're saying when we say go to bed hungry?
I think, and if you're like, I'm a black and white person, just tell me what to do. What does that mean? How do I know if I'm hungry? I think the 7:30 cutoff that people do at your program that'll solve that problem. Yeah. Just stop eating at 7:30.
Stop eating at 7:30.
So you said you were getting some people that were pushing back.
Yeah. I can't sleep if I don't eat. Mm-hmm. What do you think about that? I can't sleep if I don't eat.
It may be a breaking of routine that takes a little while. And so your body's used to one thing. So yeah, there may be a day or two where your body's resistant, but I think you're going to find your groove.
That's what I told him. I'm like, hey, the reason you can't sleep is not because you need food. It's because you have a habit, and you hope there's a reason you need to eat. And I'm sorry, but there is that. I hope I can come up with a reason where I have to eat a bowl of ice cream before I go to bed, because then it's okay. Hey, y'all admit it. Please admit that. Admit it. Yes, I want there to be a reason I need to eat.
Yeah.
And overeat. We all want reasons we need to overeat.
We've all been there.
I gotta overeat, or this bad thing's gonna happen. And we go with that. Yeah. It's human nature. Don't be too hard on yourself, but let's get honest about it.
Let's get honest with ourselves.
That's why you want to eat at night. And you want to find an excuse. I worked with a guy. He was type 2 diabetic, took tons of insulin, his words. And he said, Joe, at night my blood sugar will go down, which a lot of people come in and said, my blood sugar goes down, it's dangerous. You don't understand. You wake up and you can't even speak. You're literally almost in a coma. And I get it. That's serious. I'm not saying put yourself in that position. But here's what he did. He said, and I'd have to tell my wife my blood sugar was down, and she'd go down to the freezer and bring up 1 or maybe 2 chocolate dipped Haagen-Dazs bars. And I'm like, whew, good thing you had those chocolate dipped Haagen-Dazs bars, because your blood sugar was so low. Saved the day. So, and I know some people, yes, the blood sugar goes down, you got to raise it up. You didn't need to eat 2 Haagen-Dazs bars.
You could have rose it with what? What's a better alternative? An apple?
You could have done there's these non-sugar options you have, these tablets you can take, dextrose tablets, something like that. You could have eaten a couple bites of banana or a little, but again, it's an excuse for me to indulge. My sugar's low. I remember working with a guy. We'd work all day and say, my blood sugar's low, and he'd grab him a big old Coke and a Snickers bar. And I'm like, bro, you have a lifestyle that's not doing what you need it to do. And a big part of this, and I think you later, one of the reasons we're in the position, we got to eat some, is our lifestyle. And it's not the only thing going on in your life. Your day, you probably didn't work out. Not everybody. Some of you don't work out. You're heavy. You've had a history of doing things in a way that got you to a place you're not really healthy. And now you're trying to figure out this don't eat at night thing. There's other things you should probably be doing. But I'll say this. This is one of them. If you do nothing else show you care about your health and you're serious, you do nothing else. You just decide, I'm going to go to bed hungry every night.
I'm going to stop eating at 7:30 every night.
Yeah, really, I'm going to stop eating at 7:30 every night. That's what I'm going to do. And you see, I believe for most people that will change their lives. Does it mean they shouldn't also skip dessert here and there or stop eating pancakes for breakfast every morning?
Or walk 20 minutes a day.
Or walk 20 minutes a day or do other things. Those other things would be, you maybe should do other things. But if you just do this one, and what happens a lot of times is people will do this one and it's hard, and they're doing other things and their progress is slow. And like, well, I'm not going to sacrifice this, so they'll go back to eating at night again. And I'm like, hey, prove you care, prove you're serious, and while you figure out everything else, you know this is a good idea. You know that make this your low bar, that if I do nothing else, for the rest of my life, if you're going to go around unhealthy, overweight, obese, at least walk over at least do this minimal thing to show at least I'm willing to do that. You can go figure out whatever diet or plan you want to do, but at least stop eating and show you're willing to do that.
I like that. I think it's huge.
I
think that's great because
it's huge.
It's so, people are like, well, there's so many layers to weight loss. Here's one. Just anyone that wants to lose 20 pounds or more, stop eating after 7:30 and report back to us in a month.
Report back. I'm going to give a caveat.
Okay.
Didn't mean to shut you down.
I just wanted to say that.
For some people, that it probably does make sense for you to eat something.
When we said that,
You're
said
diabetic.
A couple bites of a banana.
Okay, so let's talk about a couple of options. Yeah, we did say that.
Well, someone that also has experienced some of the pre-diabetic limitations.
Yes.
Right? You have some
You got a blood sugar issue or something like that.
camaraderie with...
Or somebody like us that says, you know what, ice cream, maybe I should do something a little healthier than that. And that's good too. And that's last night, for example, before I went to bed, I had a kiwi.
Okay.
And kiwis are good for a couple of reasons. They are good for your microbiome, which is important. Mm-hmm. And they have melatonin in them.
Help you sleep.
They'll naturally help you sleep. So 1 or 2 kiwis at night. If you're at a reasonable weight, I would recommend everybody do that. Now, if you find that, no, it disturbs my sleep a little by eating anything at night, don't eat it. Uh-huh. But I'm fine with eating at night. But not if you act like you care about your weight and you need to lose it. That is just an easy thing, an easy lever to pull. It's uncomfortable until you get into a habit of it. Nobody likes to do that.
So ultimately, what you're saying kind of is...
half a banana. Kiwi, half a banana.
The soft approach, if you don't want to go cold turkey and maybe you have reasons why you feel like, I got to eat a little something. Here's, you're probably not going to like hearing this, but half a kiwi, half a banana. There you go. Like that's...
Whole kiwi.
A whole kiwi.
Half a banana. Half a banana is actually a fruit serving. It's a serving of fruit.
Okay. I remember when I was on a really strict model diet years ago.
Model diet?
I was on a model diet. And I remember wanting to eat a little something at night, but I was under super strict limitations. And
you were willing to do it to the T.
I was doing it really well. I cut off a slice of a red bell pepper. And I really enjoyed that because I was hungry.
Yes, hunger is the best sauce. And that's the thing. If you've decided I'm dialing this in, I'm going to do it,
Yeah.
then you're willing, instead of having your big bowl of cereal or your Cheetos or your Cheez-Its, cheese, you know, your big bowl of ice cream at night, you're willing to have, you're like, you know what, I would do better if I had a kiwi.
Yeah.
A half of a bell pepper.
And again, I
You
know
that's a serious
pretty
person.
extreme.
That's a serious person.
For the record, right now,
That's not what people are snacking on at night that we're talking to.
kind of like you right now. I enjoy a treat.
Nothing
I enjoy
personal.
my treats as well. So I just, for full transparency, if
Yeah.
someone catches a picture of me eating Reese's
I know it.
instead of bell peppers, but I'm also training 4 hours a day for pickleball.
Right, and me too. You want to do my whole life, then eat what I eat at night. But you're not doing my whole life. I just came up from downstairs and was just complaining to my son that I didn't enjoy that workout. My shoulders, my back, just getting up from doing some of the exercise. It wasn't pleasurable in the moment. Now, pickleball later today, that's pleasurable in the moment. So, yeah, finding the things that you're going to have to do some things, like we're saying here, it's just a part of denying yourself and expect a reward. And that's a part of expect a reward, and that's why I give you the reward right there. You're going to wake up happy.
And I agree with that. You do this, even though it's going to be uncomfortable at first, at 8:30 and you're not getting your snacks, you will wake up and feel pumped.
Yeah, empowered.
You will be empowered.
You're in control. It's an amazing thing, because at night you think you're going to die. I'm going to die. I'm not going to be able to sleep. Who knows what my blood sugar is going to do? I'm probably going to have nightmares because I didn't eat a pizza. Drink a drink of water and go to bed, and then you get up and you're like, oh!
Yeah.
I'm not saying there's going to be no time of, like you were saying, of adjustment. Give yourself time to adjust, but adjust. It's an adjustment that ought to happen.
I want to hear people's thoughts on this. I do think we were pretty blunt. Some people are gonna maybe struggle a little bit, but I think the majority who've been watching the channel for a while, I think they're gonna be like, you know what? Once again, you're speaking common sense truth.
Once again,
we
we 100% agree with you all.
because we get a lot of those comments and they're really a blessing to read. But let us know.
They are.
Yeah, I mean, we can take it. Like, what are your honest thoughts on this video? And do you feel like this is something that if you haven't been doing, maybe you haven't done the 21-day transformation, which you really should do because it's all of the pieces put together. But if you haven't, and
Encouraging.
you're going to put that off for a little while, try this and get back to us in a few weeks.
If you just do this for a week, I'd love to hear your feedback.
Please.
If you do this for 7 days in a row, you tell me. I guarantee any of you do this 7 days in a row, you are not going to come back and say, oh, that was a mistake. You're going to be like, this is awesome.
I agree. So
This is
comment
awesome.
below.
But it's hard.
This will be great. Comment below and let us know, are you going to do this for 7 days? Let us know.
Or are you a wimp?
And then when this video has been out for a little while, come back a week later, comment, and that way people that are watching this maybe a week or 2 or 3 or 4 down the road can see the results of people who decided to do it. Be encouraged themselves and be motivated.
Yeah, come on.
Come
Let's
on.
go, y'all.
Come on.
Let's get serious.
All right, guys. Really good stuff. Until our next video, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any. Train a Joe. Train your brain.
And transform your body.